Everyone loves a good tier list out there. Good morning, afternoon, maybe it's nighttime like it is for my boy Steven on the ground right now. What are you gonna do about it, Steven? So the tiers that we're gonna see here, we have triple S, S, A, B, C, and D. And if you want to think about it this way, popularity contest, most popular in conjunction with like high speed clear times into lower and lower and lower. So the first couple we're going to be going over, obviously the boy Bennett is going to be up in here, of course, as well as your man Xingqiu. So Bennett and Xingqiu are some of the most used characters in Genshin Impact, rightfully so, as well as, you've guessed it, none other than Zhongli and Kazuha. So Xingqiu, Zhongli, Kazuha, Bennett, all flying off the handle. I can't find him down here. My blind, there he is. Bennett, Zhongli, Xingqiu, Kazuha as well. Almost pulled up the good old boy Albedo. And then there's going to be another couple here as well. Actually, Ayaka and Raiden Shogun are very popular right now. This is going to be in the current tier abyss. It's October 16th and beyond. So Ayaka, Bennett, Zhongli, Xingqiu, Raiden Shogun, and Kazuha. So let's pull up Kazuha. Let's pull up Raiden Shogun with the purple hair there. These are some of the most used characters by far in the abyss right now. We're talking like if you own the character, there's probably a 75% chance that you're using the character in one of your two teams in the abyss. You have high speed or clear times with these characters. Zhongli, super flexible, resistance down, AFK, right, with the shields out there. Bennett doing all the Bennett stuff. Ayaka, very solid freeze team candidate, kind of sort of popular in the meta right now in comparison to someone like Ganyu, because, well, if you're, newer to the game, right, you have more of an accessibility for Ayaka. Maybe you missed Ganyu, you picked her up. And this sort of popularity contest is what you see, fluctuations in popularity due to character ability to use that character and the ability to use a brand new character. New characters are always a little more popular than the older ones. You'll see this every single time you look at the abyss usage for a character there. Now moving into the subtly lower S tier. Okay, we're talking, if you own this character, there's probably like, I don't know, a 6 out of 10 plus, maybe 7 out of 10 chance that you're using this character in your party. And this is where you're going to see the old stays here. You have Ganyu in here with Hu Tao, and then you're also going to have the other good old, should be a 5-star Pyro Polearm character, but she's not, because she's a good old 4-star free-to-play shenanigan. By the way, monstrosity, Xingling in here, and then the other Animo character, obviously that's a 5-star CC Crowdbot with Aventi. Now this is going to be the rest of your core here. So you have two different ice cryo damage dealers here with Ayaka and Ganyu, both particularly used with either Kazuha or Aventi for the good old permanent freeze team smorgasbord damage dealer there. You have Ball in here, who is either going to be in there for this solo damage carry, big strong built Ball, or you have her in there with Xingling and you're doing the Ball, Xingling, Xingqiu national team. Zhongli's around in there, Bennett's in that national team too. Aventi, Ganyu bringing in the good old, what do you want to know about the freeze team squad with the good old goat girl. And then you have Hu Tao in here coming in with Xingqiu, Zhongli. This is really the core of a lot of the teams that you see in Genshin Impact high tier abyss when played really well. These teams are always some of the most high performing teams and fastest clear rates. And it's between these 10 characters, you see a lot of different teams, between 2 different freeze teams, like 2 or 3 different national teams, a lot of cool stuff out there, a lot of very flexible and powerful characters. And that is why these are the SSSSS or S tier, because these are the backbones of some of the best teams that you can make right now in Genshin Impact, and rightfully so, that is where they belong. So A tier is going to get a little crowded here, and this is probably like a 50-50 shot. If you have this character and you're not using the ones up there, you're probably using these ones instead. So leading this list to the charge is Eula, best physical carry in the game for sure. Another cryo character that's a monstrosity, but you may not be using her depending on what sort of team you're running, is Diona. Very, very strong in a cryo-based freeze composition. Ganyu, Ayaka, whatever it is that you want to do, very powerful. Now, another very powerful freeze team candidate is going to be Mona. Mona's in here. Awesome elemental burst, freeze the target. That Omen's just going to sit there while they're frozen, doing additional damage. That damage up just sitting there forever. It won't tick down while the target's frozen. So she's a monstrosity right there. Now, some other characters here, most notably, that is very popular still, even though they're very old. Xiao is still up here, right? 50-50 shot. If you're using Xiao, you're on there. You're Xiaoing it up, bro. Is it Xiao, Xiao? I'll never understand. I don't listen to the story. I wish there was a skip button sometimes. What can you say? You know what? You just left the video. I apologize. I'll apologize. But another one, oldie but goodie, Albedo still kicking around up here in the A tier, 50-50 shot, whether you use them or not. Now here's some other ones that are pretty awesome here. Now Child gets dogged down in this game so much. There's still this thing about people like, oh, Child's bad. Child is still good and people are picking up on it. Now he's been reran like 75 times, so maybe that has a little bit of something to do with it, but this guy is finally coming together. He's finally getting some love after so many years in the dark. This man's like Illidan Stormrage, right? After 10,000 years, he's free. Now here's one that's going to surprise you a lot. There's about a 4 out of 10 shot that if you own this character, you're using this character. Now I didn't expect this, so I don't know if there's just a whole bunch of fans of this character out there. I dislike this character and I was big skip. I told everyone to big skip this character. Kokomi is up here being used in the current abyss by about 40% of people. Now, she might not be in the fastest clear rate parties, but she's super popular for some reason. And you know what? I think maybe this has to do, like we talked about, new characters, new players with free gems to burn, character accessibility. You only get one really on banner character at a time. You get Kokomi, you need a healer, you got her, you're in there. She's doing good work. She's got wet. She sprays it everywhere with her jellyfish, and it's there. Now, another character too that's probably like this, who also is still pretty good but suffers for some in-game things, is Yomi. Pretty new character, still about a 1 in 3 shot that you're using this character here. Now B tier is one character and one character only, because the percentage use from like Yomiya down to this one character and then this character below her is significant enough that she's in her own tier list. And this is actually Sucrose, believe it or not. Now Sucrose, monster of a 4-star, depending on what constellations you have her at. And remember, this is an amalgamation of different players, different constellation levels, different gear, different talents. So the clear speed and the usage rates, they kind of clash a little bit, but this is ultimately where you're gonna end up. Sucrose is doing Sucrose things still, and this is very nice. Now C tier, you're gonna see a whole ton of characters here. Now C tier, you got about a 20% to maybe like 10% chance if you own this character, you're still using them. So this is going to be made up of pretty much newer characters that are like 4 stars and very like kind of like a narrow, aka someone like, I don't know, Kujo Sara here, or some older characters who just, you know what, you've moved on from them and you want to use other things. They're still good, but their usage rates are down there. And well, you know, they're in here somewhere like Diluc. Now Diluc still does very good damage, very, very strong damage. If you look at him in a vacuum, he does very nice things and clear just as well as anyone else. Maybe a little bit slower. We're talking like 10-20 seconds slower in the right team with the right gear, but his usage rates are just way down. Why? He's old. People are using Hu Tao. People are using the new Xiangling teams. Very ease of access. C0 Diluc versus, you know, you finally got that C6 Xiangling because you've been playing since day one. Who are we using? Pyropolarm Guoba Girl. That's who you're using. You're maxing her out. You're doing a whole bunch of damage. You know, you're not going to be using the Diluc. You can get that extra 20 seconds faster clear speed and throw Diluc in the dumpster fire somewhere else. Now, some other characters in here, right? We have good old access to Beidou. We have Klee popping up in here. Kaching mains flying around, doing stuff ninja style. Who knows? We also have good old Ningguang still kind of putting in some work. Ningguang, out of all of these characters, still putting in some work in this tier list. And I think a lot of people out there saw a lot of comments like, I don't understand why you thought Rosaria was pretty decent. Rosaria still doing something. You would expect her to be like sub 5% of people who have Rosaria using Rosaria. No, she's still in there. She's still there. And then right around half Rosaria's usage rate is Chi-Chi. So that should speak volumes for stuff. And yes, your Jean guys out here. Jean's actually one of the more higher used characters in this tier. Got about that 1 in 5 shot that if you're owning Jean on average for this tier list of this abyss that you're actually using her. And this leaves, well, pretty much everyone else. So Traveler in all their forms, Amber, Barbara, Chongyun, Fischl, which is kind of wild because Chongyun was a part of the original national team, but everyone else has moved on to bigger and better variants, Raiden, Shogun variants, right? Zhongling variants, so many different variants of the national team that Chongyun is actually down there on his own. Kea, Lisa, the other girl, Noelle, sadly, I clear the abyss with you all the time. Razor, which actually blows my mind, Xinyan, Yanfei, and Sayu, and Aloy. That's where they all sit, down in the bottom tier of clear in usage rates in conjunction. So this is the mathematical data informing that based on that, this is the tier list, guys. And let me know what you thought. Triple S and S, when I put this together, looked at the data, I was like, yeah, that seems right to me. And then A was like, yeah, that seems right to me. And it's pretty reflective of where I see triple S, S right around there, A right around there. The one outlier to me, guys, was Kokomi being that popular, even though her clear speeds weren't like the strongest in the world. This is okay, but I did not expect her to be used that much. Let me know what your outlier was in this tier list, guys. And I have to go find Steven, dude, because we got to do more videos. He's taking a nap right now.